Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to walk through the procedure of saw maintenance from the point that we bring it in at night, we've used it on a job that day, and we bring it back to the shop. Whenever we put this stuff away, we want to make sure that it's ready for service anytime in the near future. We'll start with, we're just going to do a real quick look-see to make sure that the chain catcher's still on it, which is this little piece right here, okay? Just tap on the throttle. If it will not accelerate, we know this is working. One of the things that you want to do is be properly dressed, meaning safety glasses and gloves. And we'll start by taking the cover off here, and the cover comes off, which exposes the cylinder head, the air filter, and this is going to have a lot of dirt on it. If I use compressed air as a good tool, and there again, make sure you have safety glasses on and all other people are out of harm's way. And when you blow this thing off, keep the air filter on. Do not take it off, keep it on. Once I'm satisfied with getting this cleaned out in this area, then once I take the filter off, and there again, it can be different types of filters, do not go back on the power head with the air. Even if you close the choke, if it has one, you can still blow dirt in that carburetor. So stand aside and blow this out, and you want to blow from the inside out. If it's really dirty, and some of them will have a pre-clean filter wrapped around here, clean it up good, or you can actually put these in soap and water and clean them, but they have to dry overnight if you do that. So once I'm finished with that, I put this back on, put the cover back on, and buckle it down. And most of these are real quick quarter turn cam locks. It's not hard to do. And there again, it varies with the model. Make sure that you secure that good, because keep in mind that somebody is going to use this saw maybe in a storm. You may not be the next person to use it, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the bar and chain off of this. And this is a loose chain on here. It came in with the chain loose. And we're going to take these two nuts loose that hold the bar on and this outside cover, and take it right off. This is going to have a lot of dirt associated with it in this area. Now this sometimes takes a little scraping with it and take some air to it, okay? And when the chain comes off, here again we want to make sure we have gloves on, because this is a good time to get, that you can expose yourself to a cut. And take it right on off the sprocket, and remember when you take this bar off which way the printing was, if you can still see it, okay? Because it's important that when I put this on, I'm going to flip the bar over. That distributes wear, and that'll about double the life of this bar, okay? But while I got it off, and the reason I take it off is I'm going to take a raker gauge, but it's got a little hook thing on the end, and for the most part all the bars we're using today have a roller nose on them, or a sprocket nose we call it. And I'm going to clean the groove out. I'm going to start at the tip and pull the junk this way. We don't want to go back this way because we're going to pull dirt into this bearing point. Clean it good, and keep in mind that there's a little hole where the oil comes out of the saw and goes into the bar. When I flip it over, that little hole is going to be plugged with sawdust. And if I don't clean it, blow it out, and I put it back, the saw, you're going to find that it does not oil. And you're going to think, well, the oil pumps out. This is also a good time to just give a quick look at the sprocket here for wear. So take a look at that. Typically, a sprocket should be replaced after wearing out about 3 to 4 chains. So when I put this back on, the first thing I have to do is back off the adjusting lug to get the bar on. That's what I'm doing here, all the way back. And I recall when I took this off that the printing was upside down, and I put it on there like that. When I put the chain back on, okay, you want to make sure that the cutters on the bottom side of the saw are heading back towards the motor. I'm going to lay it over the sprocket, get it started in the sprocket, and I'm going to lay it up out the bar and put it over the nose. Once I get it over the nose, I want to make sure that I'm back the adjusting lug, and I want to make sure that the chain is up above the chain catcher. So once I get that in position, I'm going to put this plate back on, okay? And this particular saw, and some of the newer models, these are captured on here so you can't lose them. Normally these would come free, so you just have to be careful that you don't lose them. And I'm going to put this back on. I'm not even going to snug this up, but I'm going to tighten it so it can't slip off the adjuster lug. Now I'm simply going to start with this tool and start making the bar longer. As it goes out, you'll see the chain start coming up, okay? And just at this point, just bring it up till it touches the bottom of the bar. Then with the chain brake is off, I want to turn this. If you have a sprocket nose bar, you can run the chain tighter than you would with what we'll call a hard track or a non-sprocket bar, okay? So the procedure is, because when I loosen these, the bar drops, I have to hold it up and make the adjustment. What we find is, if we just put the nose down on the log, what I basically want to do is run this up until I feel this resistance on this wrench. And that, you stop, and then you tighten these up. The caution on tightening this is that if I put this wrench on here and I push firmly out the end of this wrench, I'm going to over torque the stud, and that can pull it out of the crankcase. Basically, if you palm it and just push firmly with your thumb halfway up the wrench, that's tight enough. If you needed a breaker bar to get these loose, they're too tight. Okay? And that's basically, I would fuel this saw and put it away. It's ready to go.